Unlike my previous Xenoblade video, this one, and all the next ones to be honest, are going to be full of spoilers, so continue watching at your own risk. I'm finally going to start doing redesigns for some of the more important characters, and for me that also means talking about their actions and their place in the story. So, let's talk about what I've done here. What character is this supposed to be? Like, is it A, Alpha, or Alvis, or someone else entirely? And the correct answer is all of the above. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to call this character an avatar of Ontos, but I imagine them to be an entity like Numa from XC2. They aren't really the processor core itself, just a special person who can achieve full control of its power. Their actual name would likely be that of whatever character they started out as, like maybe Alvis Awakened or A Ascended. Seeing as this character isn't actually in the story though, I don't really know who that would be, but it's not important. So what made me want to do this design in the first place? Well, for one thing, like many fans, I was a little mad about Alvis's sudden turn to the dark side for the story of Future Redeemed. Like, he's not even an entertaining villain. They didn't give him a different personality or design or anything. They just painted some scary eyes on his model and made it so he doesn't care about anyone anymore because he's just a computer, as if the other two cores aren't also highly advanced computers. I'm paraphrasing a lot, they do justify it in the story with actual reasons and everything. However, justifiable doesn't necessarily mean good or enjoyable, and this was one of the aspects of the DLC that I did not enjoy, especially with the invention of A as extra salt in the wound. Like, it feels like they just turned a unique fan-favorite character into a bad guy just for funsies, and then went, hey, it's okay, we made a new version of this character that you can still root for. One who looks like a cute anime girl now. Isn't this way better? I mean, it's not like the final confrontation thing where the super powerful girl character tells the super powerful boy character to stop being evil is already way overdone in this franchise alone. We definitely needed to rip an existing character in half so we can do it again. It's just like, who asked for this? Did anyone ask for this? One of the reasons I liked Alvis so much was because, for once, a male-gendered entity got to be the beautiful, gentle-voiced spiritual guide for the main character, and use his space-time abilities to help him on his journey. And now they've ruined that, for apparently no reason other than the desire to change his gender presentation to the usual stereotype. I mean, like I said, Alpha isn't an interesting villain, and although A is cute, they are also a pretty boring character. We ultimately gained very little from this decision. But there's nothing I can do about that, so instead of crying, I decided to pour my grief into this redesign, to try to recapture the spirit of the calm, mysterious, benevolent figure that we all knew and loved. It was mentioned somewhere that, since Numa is the girl core and Logos is the boy core, Ontos is both boy and girl, essentially gender fluid or non-binary. And since we already know what their masculine avatar and feminine avatar might look like, I thought it would be fun to try an androgynous look, combining A's fabulous hair with clothing based on Alvis's iconic outfit. Unsurprisingly, there's also a lot of inspiration from Alpha in here, like their special wings and the circle helix motifs from their final form. The color scheme is similar too, with the trademark red and blue of the Monado placed as accents on top of a pale base. For Alpha, that pale color is white, but here I decided to use gold since it feels friendlier and contrasts nicely with their hair. Besides, Numa already has a silvery white base in her color scheme, and if we ever see an ascended avatar for Logos, I imagine their base color will be black or dark gray. So for Ontos, I thought gold would be a fitting choice. Maybe in the next game we'll see if I'm right. Now above all, my main mission with this design was to give some well-deserved love to the original art style of Xenoblade Chronicles. I talked about the circular shape language a little in the Noah redesign video, but despite all my rambling, I don't think I emphasized just how unique and iconic it is, and how sad it is that they completely abandoned it after that first game. Xenoblade Chronicles X, 2, and 3 all sport a fairly generic science fantasy style, basically the kind of stuff you see in any run-of-the-mill anime game. And although it certainly doesn't diminish the quality of most of the designs, it's hard to look back at the older character sheets without wondering and mourning for what might have been. With that said, since Ontos is the only processor core that resided in Shulk's original world, I think it would only be right for an avatar of Ontos to bring that art style with them into the modern era. And although circles aren't really my thing, I tried my very best to replicate it here. Maybe if I keep practicing, someday I'll be able to reinterpret some existing designs in the old style. I think that would be an interesting future challenge. Anyway, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, whatever, and check out my Coffee page gallery to see the finished pictures in these videos. Till next time!